The Land of Immigration Seminar. What I'm about to describe for you is a historical event that took place in Egypt, an invitation by His Holiness Pope Tawadros II. He invited the bishops of the immigration land outside Egypt, the English-speaking ones, with delegates from priests and servants to discuss the future service of the Mother Church in the land of immigration. And the seminar was called the Land of Immigration Seminar. And COIC is proudly able to give you some glimpses of this seminar. It was from May 21st to May 23rd, 2015. The place was St. Paula Monastery Retreat Center. It was a beautiful place across the Red Sea. And all of us delegates who came with the graces and the bishops from all over the countries were very happy to be in such a place. We came from North America, South America, Los Angeles, Canada, Australia, both Sydney and Melbourne, United Kingdom, South America, mainly Brazil and Bolivia. There was also representations from monasteries outside the motherland in Egypt. His Grace Pope Tawadros mentioned in the opening that this seminar is mainly for the countries that speak English, but there will be soon another conference for other languages in the rest of the land of immigration. The seminar discussed the following topics. The first was the challenges of service in the land of immigration, including feast dates issue. Also, churches adapting to the land of immigration. And this session was presented by His Grace Bishop Mina, Bishop of Canada. The second session was the service of evangelism outside the United States, presented by His Grace Bishop Yusuf, Bishop of Bolivia. 3. Theology schools, seminars, Coptic schools, and curricula, presented by His Grace Bishop Sorial of Melbourne. Churches, buildings, boards, legal issues, bylaws, and needed policies, presented by His Grace Bishop Daniel, Bishop of Sydney. Communicating our message, mission, and identity, presented by His Grace Bishop Angelos, Bishop of the United Kingdom. Monasteries of the Land of Immigration, presented by His Grace Bishop Daniel, the Bishop of St. Shenouda Monastery in Sydney, Australia. 7. Relationship with Mother Church, presented by His Grace Bishop Carras, Bishop of New Jersey. 8. Relationships with different denominations and the Society of the Land of Immigration, presented by His Grace Bishop Sarabian, Bishop of Los Angeles. The Service of Evangelism inside the United States, presented by His Grace Bishop David of New York. Priest of the Land of Immigration, the scope of the service, essential qualities, factors facilitating and others hindering his service, presented by His Grace Bishop Agathon, Bishop of Brazil. In the opening ceremony, His Holiness Pope Tawadros said the gathering in the seminar aims at putting specific plans and headlines for the service to grow as a Coptic Orthodox Church in the immigration land, not only for 1 year, but rather for the coming 25 years. His Holiness also mentioned some historical background about the immigration of the Copts from Egypt to different countries. He related these waves of immigration to some political waves in Egypt, like the first wave started in 1952, and probably one of the most important waves happened after the revolution of 2011. So the Coptic congregation was there in the land of immigration before the consecration of churches, as His Holiness mentioned. The churches also started without preparation for priests like it's being done today. It only was done with the guidance of the Holy Spirit.
وأعتقد إن إحنا تجمعنا النهاردة ربما يكون الأول إن إحنا نتجمع بهدف المهجر، وطبعا على أرض مصر كنيسة الأم، ويبقى لنا تفكير جماعي من أجل الكنيسة. السيمينار فكرته نشأت بعد الزيارة اللي عملتها لكندا. كندا في سبتمبر الماضي كانت أول مرة أزور كندا. أنا قبل تجليسي كان في فرصة أروح أمريكا حاجة محدودة مرة ولا 2، وأروح أستراليا مرة، ورحت بعض دول أوروبا، ورحت بعض دول أفريقيا، ورحت أيضا بعض دول آسيا زي سوريا، زي الإمارات، زي سنغافورة. فعندي يعني ولتكن معرفة أولية. عيني لقطت حاجات كتيرة إن إحنا لازم نعقد مثل هذا اللقاء مرة و2 و3 علشان نضبط حركة نمو الكنيسة في المهجر. ده الهدف الرئيسي. هنطلع من السيمينار ده بمجموعة طويلة من الخطوط العريضة، برود لاينز كده، ومع توصيات بحيث نبتدي نرسم بلان ل 25 سنة ربنا يدي العمر للجميع. احنا سنة 15 يبقى لسنة 40، وبنحاول نحط الاستراكشر الاورجنايزيشن بتاع الكنيسة. الكنيسة ما ينفعش يقودها شخص فكر، ما ينفعش، من الامتداد بتاعها الكبير. فإذا ما كانتش ويل اورجنايزد في كل صغيرة وكبيرة، هذا ما نحاوله، ما يحاوله المجمع المقدس كله. بنحاول نحط الكنيسة في إطار مؤسسي في كل خطوة صغيرة وكبيرة. أنا عارف إن العمل ده مش هياخد سنة ولا 2، ده هياخد زماننا على حسب ما ربنا يدينا من عمر، وعمر البطرك اللي جاي واللي بعدين، لأن ده مسؤولية ضخمة جدا. ويكنس، الضعفات اللي في الكنيسة ممكن تبقى موجودة. يعني مثلا شعب في بلد عندهم 40-50 أسرة، عندهم أبونا واحد بيخدمهم بقاله 7-8 سنين، فجأة قالوا إحنا مش عايزين أبونا ده. نعمل إيه؟ الكنيسة ما تستحملش 2. طب نعمل إيه؟ ضعف. مثلا كاهن سقط في خطية ما، والخطية دي أثرت على مجموع الكنيسة. الكونجريجيشن موجود، شويه راحوا كده وشويه راحوا كده، شويه قعدوا في بيتهم والكنيسه اتحلت. طب نعمل ايه؟ مثلا اسم الكنيسه، طبعا احنا اسمنا الكوبتيك أورثوذكس تشيرش. الكوبتيك جايه في الاصل اليوناني اجبتوس، اجبتوس 3 بارتس. الجزء الوسطاني اللي هو جبت، اللي صار منه كوبت، اللي صارت منه ايجيبت او ايجيبت. اسمنا معناها مصري، اوكي، معناها مصري وفخر لنا.
His Holiness Pope Tawadros then addressed some issues for the Church, especially for those churches having only one priest, and how to serve when he is the only priest serving the same congregation. He also alluded to the importance of keeping the title of the Church, which is the Coptic Orthodox Church, in every activity, service, or written publication. His Holiness insisted that the word Coptic need to be placed in every name of any future born church. He also commented in many things that need to be discussed. He did not give an answer, but he wants to open a discussion regarding the priest garment or cloth in the immigration land. Facing atheism, drugs, and alcohol in the immigration land among the Copts and also those who preach. Also controversial issues like dealing with ladies during their menstrual cycle, girls wearing deacon's clothes, and the words of controversy regarding the number of days the lady had to be abstaining from communion post-delivery, 40 days for boys and 80 days for girls. All these issues are difficult, controversial, and His Holiness would love to see them being discussed. His Holiness Pope Tawadros also stressed the role of the Coptic Orthodox Church, not only among its own community of Copts, but also within the communities of the non-Coptic congregations all around him. His Holiness also alluded to the importance of human preparation, starting from bishops and ending to priests and servants. Through the continuous education, we can know how to keep the Church active and alive within the guidance of the Spirit of God. He completed his speech with the importance of working and agreeing as a group to solve our problems.
الزي الكهنوتي زينا برضو ده عايز مناقشة فيه. يقول لك الزي ده يصلح للشرق ولا يصلح للغرب؟ واحد بيقول فكرة، شوفوا ايه، مثلا ابتدوا يعملوا صلبان زي ما بعض الابهات عاملين صلبان. وفي واحد قال لي بنعمل صلبان على ظهرنا على التونيا. نفكر، نشوف اللي احنا عايزينه، نفكر الله يعطينا من روح القدس، بس المهم نتحرك حركة جماعية نتفق. وبنعمة المسيح احنا الكنيسة، سواء الآباء الأسقف والمطارنة، الآباء الكهنة، كلنا أبناء هذا الزمان. عندنا عقول منفتحة، وعندنا روح الله يعمل في وسطنا وفي مناقشتنا، وعندنا رؤية وعندنا طموح لكنيستنا إنها تبقى كنيسة عظيمة، ولنا تاريخ قوي ولنا روتس عظيمة. فمش خايفين من حاجة خالص، ونفكر إزاي كنيستنا تتناسب مع القرن 21 اللي احنا فيه. مثلا الأسئلة المتكررة لازم نحط لها حد بقى. اشمعنى يتعمد 40 يوم و50 و80 يوم؟ البنت والبريود تعمل ايه؟ السيم سكس ماريج، الهوموسيكشواليتي، الموضوعات بقى اللي هي الجديدة اللي عمالة تملى عقل ولادنا، لازم نحط لها ولازم نتصدى لها بفكر كتابي وآبائي ومعاصر وواضح لولادنا. بنحدد النيدز بتاعتنا، الاحتياجات. يقف على قمة الاحتياجات هو إعداد البشر، إعداد ناس، بدءا من آباء أسقف. إعداد، لازم نفكر إزاي نعمل إيه، ثم آباء كهنة، آباء رهبان، خدام، خادمات، مدارس الأحد. إزاي نعد ما يتناسب مع المجتمعات الجديدة اللي احنا فيها. طيب وإزاي نعمل عملية continuous education، التعليم المستمر؟ إزاي يبقى في تعليم مستمر؟ إزاي نحفظ كنايسنا وإبرشياتنا حيوية، حية، أكتف؟ ما هو الخدام كيف ما يكون موقعه زي علب الدواء اللي بيتكتب عليها الاكسباير ديت. في اكسباير ديت سنتين، تلاقي نشيط سنتين بينام. وفي واحد الاكسباير ديت ممكن يطوله، علميا بنقدر نطول الاكسباير ديت بتاع الادويه وبتاع المنتجات الغذائيه. لو حطيت دي في الشمس يتقصف عمرها، لو حطيتها في مكان ظل عمرها كويس، لو حطيتها في الثلاجه عمرها يطول، وهكذا. ازاي نعمل كده؟ ازاي نحفظ الحيويه؟ خدوا بالكم، احد مشكلاتنا الكنائس اللي فيها الكاهن لوحده، كاهن لوحده، يعني ما بيشوفش غير نفسه خالص، وبالذات لو كان اقرب كاهن له على بعد مسافات، لوحده. الشعب مجبر انه يعترف عنده، وهو مجبر على الصلوات كل يوم او كل قداس، ومجبر على الناس دي، ومجبر على الزيارات دي. في مشكلة هنا، في مشكلة. طيب، الله يعطيكم جميعا الصحة والعافية والعمر الطويل. مرض، مفيش حد كبير على المرض، مرض ويرفض أن يكون ويا كاهن. إيه اللي نعمله؟ طيب، بيوصل لغاية المسبح بعكازات ويرفض أن يكون ويا كاهن آخر. إيه ده؟ إيه؟ إزاي نقبل الكلام ده؟ إزاي نقبل الشعب يشكي ويئن، والأخ عشان مريض نحترم الظروف بتاعته؟ طب الكنيسة تعمل إيه؟ لازم نبقى نحدد احتياجاتنا جدا. حاجة أخرى غير البشر، إعداد البشر، إعداد الأماكن. كيف تكون كنائسنا؟ هل نعتمد على الكاتيدرالز والهيوج بيلدينج وإيه؟ ولا نعتمد على الكنائس الصغيرة؟ هل أكتر نعمل كنائس كبيرة وخلاص، ولا نعمل كنائس كتيرة صغيرة ومتوسطة يعني وكتيرة تخدم رعاية كتير؟ دي احتياجات الكنائس برضو في الزخرفة، في الديكوريشن بتاع الكنيسة، في المباني الخدمات اللي حواليها. برضو دي كلها نقط. ازاي نبقى معتدلين؟ ازاي نبقى معتدلين في كنائسنا؟ كنائسنا مهم جدا تكون جميلة وبسيطة، beautiful and simple. احنا مش بنتعامل وهي كنيسة جامدة او كنيسة فروزن متجمدة، كنيسة حية ونشيطة ومسؤوليتنا ان احنا نجددها. قديس أثناسيوس الرسولي في زمنه القرن الثالث والرابع لما وجد ان الناس ما بتفهمش غير فلسفة، فابتدى يشرح المسيحية بطريقة فلسفية عشان توصل للناس. احنا ازاي نقدم الكنيسة وازاي نستخدمها وازاي نخليها كنيسة معاصرة؟ احنا احفاد ماري مرقس وولاده وظيفتنا كده.
The first topic discussed in the seminar was the challenges for the Coptic Orthodox Church in the land of immigration, and what should the Church do to adapt to the diverse culture in the different societies, countries, to deliver the faith and the Word of God, especially concerning the youth facing in these countries many problems like atheism ideas, the legalization of some drugs like marijuana, and many others. Some of the delegates from Canada came and gave this beautiful lecture that I just summarized for you, and you will hear from Father Mina and Dr. John from Canada.
Why then do we exist? What is the reason, or the reason for the existence of the church in the land of immigration? Well, the mission statements is that the church, we're there to be faithful in fulfilling the commandment of Christ, as it is written in Matthew chapter 22, to go into all the world. We are the go-out church that reaches to the whole world and makes disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to observe all that Christ has commanded. And all is done so that people may be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. And in order for the church to reach out and to fulfill that mission, the church witnesses and preaches the fullness of the gospel of the kingdom of God to people of the land of immigration, and invites them to become part and members of the church. The church also would utilize in her mission the language of the land where the church exists, language or languages depending.
Faith challenge in a growing secular and atheist multi-religious culture. I think it's already been mentioned earlier. Growing generation and cultural gaps. I'm just going to skip over these. When we go to marriage and finding a suitable spouse for older youth, there is, of course, a growing challenge amongst youth that the youth are getting older and they are not finding suitable opportunities for spouses. And this is a growing trend in the land of immigration, and one that our church needs to recognize and try to meet and solve. Regarding specific challenges to children, I'm just going to skip over a couple of them because I think they're pretty self-explanatory. Going down to different set of values. In the West and in the land of immigration, there's more of an approach to individualism. As opposed to Egypt, and the culture of Egyptians is more collectivism. It's more about the family. It's more about the family ties and the family unit. In the land of immigration, it's more about the individual. And understanding that there is a difference in this area, in the culture, would help us be able to serve these children. And then some of the comments, it's boring, it's too long, it's the same old. Some comments that we hear from the children.
Father John Ramsey from Canada discussed a very important and hot topic of the feast date. He summarized for us the history and what happened in the year 1582, when the dates changed by 15 days. The issue is very important for those who are living in the migration land, where the whole church celebrates Nativity on January 7th, while most of the other Western world celebrates on December 25. Father John Ramsey presented a historical background explaining the reason of the difference. He also showed the results of a very nice, well-conducted survey, which has been applied in the Canadian Orthodox Church as well as some of the Egyptian ones in Egypt, and it was reported in April 2015. Over 3,700 responders responded to a survey regarding the Nativity Feast. 60% were in favor to change to 25th of December in Canada and in Egypt, while for the Resurrection Feast, only 42% prefers no change for the dates, and 30% preferred the change to join the Vatican policy. The second session was led by His Grace Bishop David, the Bishop of New York, and several of his delegates from the New York area. As I mentioned in the beginning, each bishop was joined by a senior priest and a junior priest. A senior priest is defined as more than 15 years of service. He is also joined by a senior servant who have been in the States for over 15 years and a junior servant. I was honored to be one of the delegates of the New York diocese as the senior servant. His Grace Bishop David honored us all by mentioning Father Gergis Tadros, the hegumen of Long Island Church, Father Mina Kaddis from Boston, Father Bishoy Salama from Toronto, and two of our valuable members, female servants, Mary Jasmine Justus and Jeanette El Galab. We had several points to cover. The topic was evangelism within the United States. And we started our group by saying that there is a clear declining number of people in the Coptic Church at the present time. It may be falsely perceived that we are growing, probably due to more to the number of immigrants from Cairo rather than increasing within the church. Father Gergis Tadros also alluded to what we call silent exodus, where a lot of our youth sadly leave the church for many reasons. Father Mina Kaddis also alluded to the importance of service within the dorms and within the university boundaries. We also did a survey for over 700 people who responded to an anonymous link asking them their opinion regarding reasons for leaving the church as youth and reasons for non-Copts why they are not joining the church, and also what is the clear indication for a new missionary church. All these documented survey responses were presented to His Holiness and to the bishops present, as well as the servants and the rest of the group.
لو كان أبائنا الرسل وأبائنا الأولين رفضوا الكالتشر في البلاد اللي بيروحوا لها، أو كانوا حاولوا يفرضوا علينا لغة أو كالتشر يهودية أو أرامية أو أي شيء، هل كان ممكن يبقى الجريك زي ما هم ويبقوا مسيحيين والمصريين يبقى زي ما هم المسيحيين والرومان زي ما هم؟ هل ممكن إن أصير لليهودي كيهودي ولليوناني كيوناني لأربح على كل حال قوم؟ ولا أنا بطلب من كل دول إنهم يبقوا مصريين؟ فرق كبير جدا بإن إحنا نطلب من ولادنا إنهم يكونوا مسيحيين أقباط من ناحية التاريخ، أرثوذكس من ناحية العقيدة، وبين إن نطلب منهم إنهم يكونوا مصريين وبس. ناس كتير أمريكان سيدنا بيجوا الكنيسة بيحبوها بس ما يقدروش يقعدوا فيها كتير. بيزوروها زي ما بيجوا يزوروا مصر، لكن لو طلبنا منهم يستمروا كل أسبوع في الكنيسة ما يقدروش. ما يقدرش يقعد 5 ساعات، ما يقدرش يسمع لغة في بلده مختلفة عنه أطلب منه إن هو يفهمها بدل ما أنا اللي أروح له هو اللي يجي لي. ما يقدرش يستحمل الناس كل أكلهم مصري، كل كلامهم مصري، كل احتفالاتهم مصرية، كل أعيادهم حتى المسيحية مختلفة عنهم. علينا إن إحنا نحدد إيه اللي ممكن نخسره عشان نكسب، وإيه اللي يمكن نخسره واللي كلنا متفقين عليه اللي هو العقيدة بتاعتنا والإيمان بتاعنا والتاريخ بتاعنا. لا يمكن حد فينا يفرط فيه حتى بحياته. لكن في حاجات كتيرة قوي سيدنا محتاجين إن إحنا نفكر فيها كده. على المثال.
No different than the times of the apostles, there are more superficially attractive dogmas that exist, including atheism. In addition to the known dogmas, the concept of being spiritual and not religious, meaning affiliated with a specific religion or sect of religion, and thus they don't go to church, has been on the rise. Along those lines, there's a false concept of freedom of worship, meaning that I can worship any God I want, any way I want, whoever I want. And many challenge and question, why do we need tradition or a place of worship or priest? This concept is titled postmodernism, meaning God is relative to every person.
One of the other biggest hindrances to evangelism that our church teachings is outright the polar opposite of the Western and societal teachings. Though this may have been the cases for several generations in the past, it's even more of a challenge now, as the government has legalized these wrong teachings, making it even more difficult to the church to stand up against them. I will provide two examples. The first is same-sex marriage. By the end of 2010, same-sex marriage was legal in just 5 states of 52 in America. By the end of 2013, it was legal in 16. 2015, 37 states out of 52. And actually, currently, it's being discussed in the Supreme Court to be federal law across America. The second example is marijuana. This drug is now being advertised as benign. It has been legalized in 23 states in some form, whether for medical use, which is not even scientifically proven yet, or recreational. So the society we live has been tolerant to these issues. There is a negative perception with regards to organized religion and specifically Christianity. Unfortunately, there is also a misperception in society that since we as Christians do not accept these differences, then therefore we do not tolerate nor love them. Saint Anthony the Great said, "A time is coming when men will go mad, and when they see someone who's not mad, they will attack him saying, 'You are mad, you're not like us.'" We feel that this is the era. And unfortunately, this is how some people perceive us as we hold tightly to our faith. This creates a challenge to us. We need to find a way to hold on to our faith while showing them love and acceptance. In conclusion, this polarization of thought forces people to choose between them and yield to the set of principles that appear more tolerant and loving. The Pew study reflects that there is a decline in Christianity in general in the United States. As this may seem to be something very negative, this is also an opportunity for evangelism.
So we have today also 4 models, more or less, that we can think about the Church of North America, depending on the geographical location. We have a church that might focus primarily on the new immigrants. So this is an all-immigrant church. There's a more need for the use of Arabic language, etc. And this can be a church that focuses on evangelism through those who speak Arabic or come from the Arabic culture. And then there's the bilingual church. There are some churches who are, half Arabic and half English, and this is the theme that they have. The third model of a church, and الكنيسة بنفكر فيها, يعني it's a parish, we're not speaking about the different church, is an all-English church. كنيسة تكون يعني بتكرز وبتتكلم باللغة الإنجليزية، وبتكون بتحاول ان هي تشوف تحديات المجتمع اللي هي عايشه فيه وتحاول ان هي تتاقلم عليه. لا تغيير خالص في الايمان، ولكن التاقلم، لان زي ما احنا very proud Egyptians لازم برضو ان احنا نكون في البلاد ربنا حطنا فيها نكون مواطنين يعني محبين للبلد اللي احنا فيها ومخلصين ليها ايضا. فنبتدي ان احنا نتعرف على البلد ديت واحتياجاتها، فنقدر ان احنا نتواصل مع شعوب البلاد ديت، وده اللي بيكون الطريقه اللي احنا بنقدر نجيبهم بيها ويحسوا ان هم مستريحين وويلكم في الكنيسه، ويبتدوا ان هم يكونوا اعضاء في الكنيسه ديت ويطلبوا العماد لما يعرفوا الايمان المستقيم.
Bringing the Coptic Orthodox faith into the college campuses. So for an example, in Boston we have over 450 students coming from all over the world. And this is a very critical age when most youth are very vulnerable to leave the church and their faith. Most of these youth have left their homes and they have come and they're living alone by themselves. They've left their churches and they're very much alone, staying in their dorms. So the Coptic Orthodox Church goes to them as they can't get cars to go visit the churches. We go, and our 4 main services are to serve the mysteries, have a Bible study, provide fellowship and agape meals, and share in spiritual services.
At the end of New York delegates' presentation, His Grace Bishop David had very important recommendations, including the importance of the pastoral care visits of the Patriarch of the Coptic Orthodox Church. He invited and recommended and asked His Holiness to consider visiting the United States in the very near future. He also recommended and welcomed all the visitations from the fathers, the bishops, in order to increase evangelism and to connect the land of immigration church as well as the mother church. At the end of this presentation, His Holiness Pope Tawadros was very pleased with all what was said, the topics discussed as well as the survey results. He expressed his happiness with those researchers, as you are going to watch in this part from the seminar.
صح كده ان احنا نعرف ايه اللي موجود الحقيقه. يعني انا اشكر ابونا جرجس واشكر ابونا مينا والدكتور هاني والاخوات طبعا بتشجيع نيافه انبا ديفيد ان نبتدي نرسم التصور ونشوف ايه الويك بوينتس اللي عندنا وده حاجه كويسه خالص. بيقولوا التشخيص نصف العلاج، مش كده؟ فان احنا نشخص ونعرف نقط ضعفنا في مجتمعنا وفي محبتنا لبعض، ده في حد ذاته علاج حلو. عايز اسال سؤال، ازاي احصل على الحاجات دي كلها؟ بتاعت الصبح وبتاعت العصر. ده هيبقى موجود؟ هيبقى موجود كده؟
As you just have seen, His Holiness Pope Tawadros was so welcoming with the issues that were presented in the seminar. He cared to take a copy of the presentation, the survey results, to study later and to also present them to the Holy Synod in the nearest occasion, which was a very hopeful feedback from His Holiness. We all felt that the Church will have many changes in the coming years while keeping our faith, tradition, and orthodoxy. The third topic was presented by His Grace Bishop Angelos, Bishop of the United Kingdom. It was about communicating our message, the message of Christ to the whole world, through us, which may be by speaking peacefully to a world which is very anxious and full of no peace. He mentioned a practical example for that about the reaction to the Libyan martyrs, when one of the martyrs' brothers thanked ISIS for not removing the part of the martyr's confession of faith from the video of the martyr's execution. Remembering Luke 12:12, for the Holy Spirit will teach you in that very hour what you ought to say.
We must realize that it's not important for us to speak. It's important for us to have something to say. Because sometimes we feel compelled to speak. Sometimes we feel that there is time for a statement. But whatever we speak must come from a deeper understanding of who we are, what we believe, what we represent, and what we want to say to the world. We are not spokespersons, we're not spokesmen. We are messengers of the gospel. His Holiness Pope Tawadros, in August when our churches were burnt, said they think that by burning our churches, this is revenge. But these churches were offered for the redemption of Egypt. Indeed, they were offered as a sacrifice for our nation. People just didn't understand that message. But when it came from someone who represents not only a church, but Christians, and indeed Christ, it speaks to the truth, but then it also has this wonderful missionary component. We speak about mission, and we've been hearing about mission parishes and mission churches. We forget that everything we do is mission. Every statement we make is mission. Every time we walk down the street, it's mission. We must be a spiritual voice into a secular world. Our Lord in John 17 asked that his disciples be kept in the world, not to be taken out of it, because they were to be the light and the salt. Just as we have seen so much light and salt over these past few months. We have seen such an expression of faith, of power, from people we wouldn't even think of. The world is hungry for the gospel message, and we've seen that. And we must always be ready in season and out of season to deliver it in a way that will make a difference to that world. The media is a powerful messenger, and it could be a powerful messenger of the gospel that is entrusted to us if we communicate it as well. I'm reminded by one verse that I will close with, and that comes from the Epistle to the Romans, chapter 10. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not heard and believed? How shall they believe in him whom they have not heard? How shall they hear without a preacher? We are those messengers. We don't want to become media consultants, we become speakers of truth. And we become speakers of that gospel truth that remains clear and remains faithful regardless of the situation, regardless of the apparent defeat, and regardless of the obstacles we face.
The fourth issue was presented by His Grace Bishop Sorial, Bishop of Melbourne, Australia. It was about theology schools, seminaries, Coptic schools, and curricula in the land of immigration. His Grace Bishop Sorial stressed on the importance of theological education for the Coptic Orthodox Church. He mentioned that this kind of colleges is being seriously appreciated by the Western countries.
Ideally, Coptic theological schools and seminaries would exist side by side as two separate entities, the former specifically offering courses of study in religious and theological education, and the latter exclusively for the training of priests, including pastoral studies and formation. This, however, may not be possible at present due to the potential high cost of running separate institutions. But for the time being at least, each Coptic theological school should have a clearly defined seminary within its educational structure, or offer a particular course targeting the formation of priests, for example, a Bachelor of Theology. Coptic seminaries should endeavor to train prospective clergy how to be Orthodox. A future goal for us as bishops should be to ensure that no man be ordained into the priesthood without first obtaining a degree in theology. This was one of St. Habib Gerges' criteria of sound theological education.
The message of His Grace Bishop Sorial was met by a lot of acceptance from the group. Both His Holiness Pope Tawadros, bishops, priests, and servants were very much in agreement that the Coptic Church, with its long heritage, should at least have 3 Coptic seminaries. His Grace Bishop Sorial recommended 3 locations, one in United Kingdom, one in Melbourne, Australia, and the third in New York area. With that, I would like to take a break, and I hope you have taken some glimpses of the Land of Immigration seminar. When we meet again, we'll discuss the balance and the rest of the sessions. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.